He did play pretty aggressively against Hero Marine. And so, yeah, they're going to play a reverse race for the first game. So, it's going to be TvZ, but not the way you expect it. So be ready for me to mix their names up as we cast through this one. As we have in the top right side, Lambo. He's playing the Terran for game number 1 in this lower bracket final. In the bottom left, our red Zerg will be Clem. You've seen Clem's Terran, you've seen Clem's Protoss. This is Clem's Zerg, the only off-race people will agree to play against Clem because they know his Protoss is too good. It's not even fair. It's basically a main race at this point. And yeah, apparently they just agreed to play this for game 1. That's what Indy said. I have no further knowledge, so yeah, this guy is happy to bring it out as we get into this opening game of the series. Lambo and Clem. Are they still in Dubai? Does it look like they are still in Dubai, considering they are playing a tournament on stage in Poland right now? No, they were just in Dubai for their layover, which got delayed, and they missed their layover, so they were in Dubai overnight. And hence they flew from Dubai to Poland this morning. Assume I'm streaming until the tourney's over? Yep. We're here the whole day. The YouTube viewership is why, honestly, because the YouTube viewership's popping. And it's nice to get some hours in. Nice to get back on track, get the stream live, and then get back on track tomorrow with the WardiTV Mondays. Should be fun. Paper opening from Lambo, and he will take the chance to expand onto the low ground. Clem gonna send the overlord across, couple of queens on the way. Lings on the way as well as we get settled in the early stages. Man in the Moon, thank you so much for the 51-month resub. Welcome back. Thank you for the Twitch support. Much appreciated as the hatchery goes down onto the third base. There's still there's a WardiTV Monday tomorrow? It's Monday. That means there's a Monday Cup. What time? Eastern Standard Time for the US? 7 a.m. Bright and early for the NA viewers. Heck yeah. Heck yeah. So Lambo with the Reaper, no kills just to start us off. Third CC on the way from him as he gets set up back at home. Link speed building from Clem. Queen on the way. Hatchery building on the third base, so he gets himself ready and set up. I'm excited for game 2 when they swap back to their main races and everyone's like, wait, isn't Clem up 1-0? I just saw the Terran win. And it's like, no, no, no. Pay attention in this game 1. Otherwise you'll be asking that. I'm doing good. I've not said the player names and races the wrong way around yet. Good grenade. Gives you a chance for the Ling, but doesn't actually get there in the end. Reaper falls back. Hatchery taking some shots. Ling speed coming through. The additional drones are coming up. Clean building as the hatchery continues on in. Starport Tech Lab all coming about as well. The couple extra Hellions continue to come around. The Reaper and the Hellions will gather together and the Queens pull back over to the left side. Just seeing the Liberator and the couple of Hellions then continuing through. So Lambo, very standard opener, right? Good harassment opener, good map control opener. Gives you a good range of options. Should just follow up into Stim and Bio pretty quickly as well. You're not going to be super tech heavy. The Liberator is not super micro-intensive like the Banshee is, in terms of, like, you know, with the Banshees, you're always microing them pretty much if they're in a base. The Liberator, you have periods where you have to recognize whether you're going to unsiege it or not, so it does work a little bit differently as, again, the Lib, Marine, Hellions continue to come on through. And that orbital just continues around. A couple of Hellions continue up, so we're actually going to try and land the third in the next few moments. Clem gets the lair on the way for himself. And we'll see a couple of Spore Crawlers on the way through as well. Extra drones, extra queens, all producing. Hellions going to come down the low ground. Orbital command will land, so the third gets set up already. And that stim pack upgrade is a building, so our Terran is going to have the full-on stim, engineering base, barracks. And tokamak. I'm not sure if this is... I don't think this is necessarily 8 racks territory in terms of just the map says you should, but Could be a style from Lambo as well. Could be an option. Does siege the lib up in range of the spores. It takes a ton of damage on it immediately, which is not great. Thank goodness, just about slips out. No, he stops it. The queen. Oh my god. Clem didn't realize the liver had actually got away to the right side. This queen positioned itself. Yeah, he's realizing it. He's going to get in reach. Ah! We'll kill it. As Lambo really just gave up on that lib, so... Liberator goes down, and not the best in regards of what that lib can get done. Obviously, he was probably hoping for a little bit more. Queen show up there. Hellions get pushed away. Stimpack and the +1 coming up also as the additional barracks come through. So 5 racks coming up in total. 1-1 upgrade. Stimpack coming. The Lings are going to run over, and the Hellions are going to get jumped on a little bit. So a few Lings will go down already. Hellions showing up and jumping onto this hatchery. So hatchery taking damage. The Queens continue to step through. Queen's just going to push the Hellions back over the left-hand side. And the Baneling Nest is coming online. So melee upgrades building. Baneling Nest coming through. I'd say Clem's happy with this, right? He's deflected the aggression, not really taking any damage early. Yes, guys, they have swapped races for game 1 is what we heard. So assuming just this game 1 race swap, and then for the rest of the series they'll play their main races. Kind of more excited for the main race games. I've definitely said in the past I'm not a huge advocate of when people just throw the off races out, but I don't mind the off race versus off race. Yeah, I got called out earlier this year when I got sad someone was off racing like Mars Coliseum, so I was like, to me it wasn't like exciting, and then they freaking went and won a game while I was complaining about it. So yeah, but this is kind of fun. 1 game only. I'm just excited because I'm intrigued to see what Lambo does and how he fares ZVT against Clem. I know he's on the underdog there, but I actually feel like there's a good opportunity for him to show us some cool stuff. And like I say, ZVT looked great at EWC, so I'd love to just see what that looks like, as upgrades will finish soon for Lambo. He's pushing forward, getting rid of some of this creep. Lambo does not have the Bane speed yet. He's got Hydras on the way, so he will have himself a chance to kind of maybe fight this soon. He's about to be supply block Clem, so not ideal if he wants to keep making units. But Lambo's attack is also not too threatening right now. Yeah, he's pushed some creep back, but he's not like pushing into the base. He's not on top of the mineral line. So Clem's not in an immediate rush to clean this push out. So he can wait a little bit, get some Banes up, use that Baneling speed to help crash into this. And do have Lambo reinforcing. The Queens, transfusions necessary. Clem misses 1, misses 2. So 2 Queens going down initially. Now the Lingbane maybe thinks about diving forward. Honestly, probably could have done. Lingbane Hydra still trying to come through. Lambo is heavily stimmed already. Tanks off to that left side. The Hellbats are quite far back. Lambo not watching for a second. Does eat a couple of Baneling connections right away as Clem is going to try and find a little bit of peace and respite. 2 more barracks from Lambo, but he does have the 4th CC, so that's flowing out. This was not 8 racks territory or anything, just 4th CC, now 8 racks, and the second factory is very typical production for 4 bases. I just realizing they can hit the tank on the high ground to low ground there, so we clean that up. And there's a few Hellbats in the front are nice, but shouldn't do too much. Clem being careful not to leak too much forward. He's got a Baneling run by. Coming in, the SCVs are going to be stuck. Good split from Lambo. Wow, very good split from Lambo, actually. Still 9 SCVs going down, but that was so fast from when he noticed it. Like, he didn't see it immediately. When he noticed it, the split was spot on. Like I say, 9 SCVs going down. Clem's slipping a little bit macro-wise. I think he could maybe do with a handful more drones, perhaps. Because it does feel like he's not quite super comfortable right now. He's going to find this planetary morphing in. Can he actually get rid of this? Oh, that's going to be a lift. He has to cancel the planetary right now. The SCVs cannot repair it. Has to cancel, has to lift. That gives you more time to maybe deny this. More time before it is a planetary fortress. As Lambo's pulled away, Clem's going to move out onto the map. Clem will be maxed shortly. A few more drones did come into play. Infestation pit dropping down as we look toward the future. I imagine the next step from Clem is to probably head in towards Lurkers. Does Lambo want to play Ghost? Like, is that something he's comfortable with doing here on his off race? Is he going to make that switch, I suppose? Bit of Lingbane. Goodbye denied. Tank in position. Clem not sure about committing to it, but he will jump onto this, and he's going to have the Banes connecting, and Lambo just noticing it too late. It's a chunk of supply going down, gets caught out on the map. Pulls back, Marines ready to unload. As you just see the Ling Hydra thinking about what we would like to do for the moment. Another scan coming down. What are the rules? There's no rules. It's just the guys decide to play off race. Game 1. So I just thought that would be fun. So there you go. Look, then about halfway done. Hive coming up, another hatchery coming into play as you see Burrow, plus 2 melee, plus 2 carapace all coming through. That carapace upgrade about to complete. Marines pulling back over. We are going to be seeing the Lingbane continue to come through. A couple of Hellbats, the Marines going to continue to get chased away. The Bane's going to crash forward. The Ling's actually working on those rocks as well, by the way. Going to be fun. Knock that down. There's a Sensor Tower there that would die if those rocks fell. No, never mind. Sorry, the rocks will fall not on the Sensor Tower. I don't know what I'm talking about. But nice to get rid of those minerals anyways for later in the game, right? If those minerals are not available, the blue minerals get killed by these rocks falling, so it's always a good thing. No! He's going to let some Lings get squished. He's so used to killing it with Marines, doesn't think about melee units. Burrow coming up, Nidus Networks as well. Clem is obviously well on his way to Lurkers and just everything that's going to be great here in the deeper game. Lambo is... I don't think Lambo's really set up where he needs to be at all, honestly. Like, I look at this and I just don't think it's going to be what we kind of need as the Lings are going to chase forward. A couple tanks are going to get jumped on. The Hydras will get rid of those. Actually a good start of the fight from Clem, but he needs to get rid of the tanks on the right side. The Pains crash through. It's not a good fight for Clem at all, honestly. I mean, he's going to have money to rebuild with, but he actually lost a lot during this, just as he's kind of wanting to spend money on Lurkers. I don't think that was really the fight in the slightest. Like, he got rid of some tanks, but in a very expensive manner. Like I say, we'll have to spend some of that bank. I think he's saving some money for Lurkers, honestly. 10 Lurkers morph in, so still has a bit of free supply to max out. As Lambo drops a 5th base down, this EVT off race is getting epic. As the tank sets up, Ling Hydra Bane comes over. I think it's going to take the opportunity to knock their way through a set of rocks here. So rocks already going down, that's going to be taken out. The Seer flying through, Nidus Network going down. The rest of the Lings coming up as well, just going to be having ourselves the Nidus coming about. Again, the Lurkers coming in. Nidus falls. Bio going to go to the left side. Just going to get that Nidus as well. A lot of Ling Hydra coming through. Bio going to come across. A couple of Banes. Hydra's going to get jumped on. Again, not a good fight for Clem. Do not run into that. Lurker's going to start putting some work in as Lambo just has enough to overwhelm the couple of Lurkers that were here. Clem, with more Lurkers, absolutely will dominate these positions. More Niduses. I love that. One in the natural, one on the left side base. Difficult to have enough units to be everywhere, right? And if you get one of these up, Lurkers behind that mineral line could be huge. You can see the units try and get in position. There's no way these Lurkers don't get out, though. Clem knows the chance he's got, and he's going to unload these Lurkers, then burrow them up. And he is going to get some work done. Now, don't get me wrong, these Lurkers are actually going to have a bit of a rough time. So Clem will lose them, but he gets a lot of Terran at the same time. Oh no, the scan run out! Lambo, it's a disaster! It's not just a disaster, it's a massacre! Clem runs into these tanks, which he's been trying to kill all game. And now he's going to come through and he's going to get rid of them as well. He'll jump into the base after this. Niduses are up in the natural. We'll see how Hydra's just pushing out the front. Again, 3-3 coming through. Another scan coming down. A couple of Lings leaking into the mineral line. SCV's taking damage. Oh, Hawksberry, thank you so much for the 4-month resub on the Prime as we just see Clem definitely taking control of the game here. 28 SCVs down. Lambo is now running around everywhere a little bit, and just that move command into the Lurkers because he lost the vision. The scan ran out before he killed them. I imagine he thought he'd kill them sooner, but they got choked up, and obviously everything else is going on as well. It's another Nidus in the main base. It's only Hydras and Lings in there currently, so not as impactful as when the Lurkers pop out. Lambo about to hit 3 upgrades. I'm working on missile upgrades currently to improve the Lurker Hydra portion of the army. Big Giant Poop with the 5-month resub as well. Thank you so much for the Prime. Appreciate it. Thank you, thank you. As Hydras will knock down these rocks, given easier access to reach the gold mineral lines and harass this base location. And so we work on that right from the get-go here. Tanks firing, Hydra's taking shots. These Lurkers will just get rid of another tank. Units are in trouble. Just need another scan. I think the tanks are in decent range as these Lurkers. Do they want to move forward? I think Clem's at the point where realistically in a pro game, this is where we talk about maybe adding on a couple Vipers, and the Vipers would be very good at pulling the tanks out of position, and that really opens up what the Lurkers can do and where they can go. But in an off-race pro game, maybe Clem's not quite comfortable controlling the Vipers. I think in the same way that Lambo's maybe not quite comfortable controlling the Ghosts, and so we just don't see any of those. which obviously does feel like the deeper this goes, the more troublesome that's going to be. Clem's like, screw the Liberators, I don't think they're good enough to deal with me. Pops those Lurkers out anyway, and is going to get a bunch burrowed up. I mean, more SCVs going down. Clem's just looking for chaos, right? I think at this point, Clem's already feeling the ability just to play quick, play around the map, keep Lambo distracted. It is costing Clem quite a lot of units. Oh, some Banelings do hit the Marines that did not get to pull back already. Painful moment right there. Lurker's still putting some work in. Lambo's supply is dropping. Has some money to spend to rebuild it, but again, he's getting pulled around a little bit. Not allowed that left-hand side base either. There's base 6, so he's not in a super high rush to get it, but it would be nice just to get it online. Of course, Clem's had no pressure at all on his side of the map for the last little while. He's going to add some extractors. That's a lot of SCVs transfer, and that would be a nice chunk of economy gained by Lambo if those workers have not been active. Actually getting them on a fresh base would be a big deal. Hydra Bane pushing through. A couple tanks will go down. It's going to push forward. I mean, those Banes should absolutely go after those SCVs. No! They're clumped up in the corner. No! Watch that! First the Observer didn't want to watch, then Clem didn't want to watch. The Banes will not die. That was a missed opportunity to kill like 15 plus SCVs, surely. Bit of a shame. The one Hydra comes out to force a scan. Not sure that was quite worth it. As Clem dives onto the tanks, this planetary fortress is dead and gone. So that is that base busted down. Clem's doing a good job of at least getting rid of the bases when he's trading here. Also getting rid of a lot of the tanks. So these are expensive units that are going down. A Liberator that gets chased away. Looks like that might survive unless it turns to shoot into Overseers and then will go down instead. Although the only problem I have for Clem is that these Hydras are not exactly in getting out of here territory. Are they actually just going to return around and fight? Apparently they are. That feels nasty. Always trying to bloody block with the changelings. Cute little idea, but it's not going to block everything. But some of the Hydras get out. That felt kind of nasty for Clem. That felt like, you know, scary territory. I'm very high on just Lingbane Hydra again right now. Not super Lurker focused. Does not seem to feel the need to go into the Lurkers. Lambo does have a Ghost. He has a Ghost Academy. At least one Ghost in this army right now, but not multiple Ghosts just yet. Is the Baneling going to get picked away at? Just going to take that down. Spire Force still pushing through, and Crypt Chamber is getting picked away at as well. Spire pushing forward. Link Hydra on the right side, just going to come through. Siege Tank going to get jumped on. Lambo going to get collapsed on from all sides. Is it good enough for Clem? I mean, it's a messy fight because there's just so many tanks here. The defensive Terran position is good. Clem rebuilds. Looks to go again with a similar army, just a new wave. 10 more Lurkers, 68 more Lings. Again, +3 missiles, +3 melee, all coming up. Just have ourselves another scan coming down. Nidus is in the main base. Clem's keeping up the momentum right here in this opening map. Bio tank pushing forward. Lurkers pull away. A couple drones going down. Tanks will siege. He's going to charge on up. The Lurkers are going to be right there as well. Going to see a lot of these tanks in a lot of trouble, honestly. A lot of those getting picked off right off the bat. Slings, Hydras just coming through. The siege tanks getting absolutely annihilated. That's Lambo's army gone. And obviously, the bases he took down for this entire trade out is just not worth it. Just not good enough. A couple of Marines jumping onto the Nidus there. The upgrade's going to finish shortly. Lurker's just going to get burrowed. Command Center up to the top. GG gets called, Lambo taps out, and Clem takes game number 1 of this best of 5. Now talking about a game 2 right here. More ZVT, but the races are swapped back to their main races, as in the top right corner, our blue Zerg player is Lambo. And in the bottom left-hand side, the red Terran player here, coming on screen, is Clem. Back to the main races for Game 2. Zerg won Game 1, but the Zerg player's down a map. Balanced, right? How's my travel? Very decent. Had a long layover, but honestly wasn't so bad. Early flight out, slept a bit on the flight. Long layover, but whatever. We got home. Still tired just from travel day yesterday, but powering through. Alright. That's going down. A couple drones coming about. Barracks, SCV. building in. CC pulling back. CC going down. And a Reaper on the way from Clem to start off this game. Number 2. 1-0 up. Again, winner of this plays Raynor in the finals. We are not quite there yet. Who will play Raynor in that best of 7? That is our question. Like I said, at eSports World Cup, Lambo had some really cool builds, some really cool aggressive openings, some trickery. Helped him to win some games and was not afraid to bring that kind of stuff out. And I would imagine that might be the kind of stuff that you perhaps think of bringing out here against Clem. Unless Clem's style just does not really suit that as much. You don't feel as though you have as much opportunity as you do against someone, you know, against Bjorn. Like as much as you did against Bjorn against Hero Marine, where he was using that a lot, so... Clem has also shown that he's not afraid to use some of the mech stuff, so maybe some of the roach-based openings would not be bad for Lambo just kind of to set up into initially as well, just to help negate some of the mech openers that Clem is likely to be heading into as well. Okay, we're pulling over the side. King speed building, Hellions coming up, CC and the Orbital all on the way. And Queen there to push the Reaper back a little bit. Reaper will continue to try and poke on through, looking for a jump up into the main. Excuse me. As our starport comes online, commencing to finishing shortly. A couple more Hellions coming about. Big Queen's going to shoot the Reaper. That's going to get pushed back. And a couple Hellions pull around the left-hand side. CC morphing into an Orbital, Banshee Marine on the way, Reaper Hellions. Poking about onto those Lings, a couple Queens step forward, and we will see the Hellions chased away. Queens gathering up, the Ling's going to come in from the right side, a drone going to go and build an Evo chamber. As Clem threatens this mineral line, there's not that many drones on it, I don't think there was ever going to be a time where it was worth committing those Hellions. But, yeah, just, nice to threaten still, right? Not a bad thing, as our observer has opened the chat, but he will close it again. Ancient Cloak on the way through. A couple of additional barracks coming up. We're definitely starting to see where Clem is heading on this one. Hellions shooting, and again, the Zergons continue to get chased. Evo Chamber coming straight down. Those Lings looking for the wraparound. This might not have been the dive-in that Clem was hoping for. The Lings doing a good job of repositioning, but is it enough? We've still got some Hellions ready to chase. Enough for one-shot potential, but the Queens are going to zone right now. Clem's just playing for lost mining time. Zips up into the main base. 2 Hellions make it in here, which is obviously decent, but it's not enough for one-shotting, so it's still going to take multiple shots to get kills. People can help a little bit. 3 drones down. Remember, Clem's given up every Hellion for this, so he wants some reasonable damage for all the commitment. I would not say you're super happy with 6 workers, but the chaos and an unsuspecting Lambo who does not have detection right now available to deal with the Banshee, which is going to cloak up here. Spore's just not ready. He's not even anti-air here because the Queen got killed. Clem taking that trade initially. Lambo just says GG. He's not messing around. He knows it's too far gone. In game we go. Maganatha. Oh, kind of a big map. Definitely not one I think Lambo's upset to see. If you can get to that later stage, the size of this one should help you a lot. Lambo is our Zerg in the top left down 0-2. Let's see if he can get some energy and some games in this series, as he needs to win this to stay in the tournament and fight for possible finals placement. He takes on the Wonder Kid in the bottom right, the red Terran player, 2-0 lead, a map away from his rematch versus Raynor. It is Clem, from Team Liquid, of course, as well. Lambo representing the Shopify Rebellion, of course. Next comes down, Refinery comes up. Gas comes into play, and we'll just have ourselves the racks and the gas getting settled for a couple of moments already. Natural gas and Coolio on the way. No multi-racks Reaper or anything from Clem, just kind of plain and simple with that barracks into the Reaper. Looks fairly normal initially. I'd not be surprised if Clem, it's a bigger map, but I still think just Hellion Banshee 3cc is very solid to open. He might be able to get away with the non-Banshee build on this map, because obviously it's a bit bigger, maybe you don't expect the roaches as often. If the roach attacks come, you have more time to deal with it anyway. So if there is a map to maybe step away from the kind of Banshees, this is one of the better maps to perhaps do that on. So we'll see if, like I say, Clem takes that opportunity, or if he just respects the ability to kind of be very consistently putting himself in good positions here in this matchup instead. And that really is just an option that's open to him. So we'll see what the plan becomes. Well, Reaper Grenade going down, Lings and Drones going to get buffed around. Reaper will continue to chase for some work. Reaper fighting. Lambo supply blocked. Couple CCs continue to build into play. We do have our hatchery on the low ground. As Reaper hops up, we're going to be there. Yeah. What time is WardiTV? Monday, 1 PM European time. As the Reaper just pulls back, Queen is going to be in position again. Additional drones coming up. The hatchery will finish shortly. Starport, Command Center, Orbital Command all continue to produce. A little grenade goes down, going to bop the Queen and a few Zerglings away for a moment or two. Roach builds. The hatchery is coming online. Yep, early Roachron I don't think is obviously too shocking. Maybe Lambo has an aggressive build. I mean, Clem sees the Roachron though as well. Obviously Lambo no link speed here, so just going to play straight to those roaches. How aggressive do we get? How many roaches do we build? Is this just playing roaches defensively to get us set up into the next stage, and that's his plan? It very well could be as well, honestly, so those choices really are there. Banshee makes, obviously with the scout, complete sense. Banshee keeps you much safer against a lot of the roach stuff than anything else, basically, off that starport. So get that Banshee, roll into this. Clem immediately adds another barracks here as well. So start setting up. Lambo with the full scout wants to try and get confirmation of what Clem is going into. Sees only the single gas still. Is going to see the cloaking on the starport. Is a pretty good indicator of probably the expectation. But in this current meta where mech is a real viable possibility, I think it's not terrible to come scouting through and try and just get extra info at any possible opportunity. Queen's there to push the Reaper back. At any possible opportunity. You really only get one dive with that Overlord, but I don't hate that dive being right there. Like, he's clearly just wants to confirm everything that he's thinking. As he's droning heavily, as he moves into the lair, the roaches continue to stack up into reasonable numbers for now. Reaper takes the watchtower. Shoots, roaches take hits. Those roaches already taking some shots. Queen's going to be there. The Reaper and the Hellions get turned around the right side. Banshee cloaks, just going to be playing away from the hatch. Hellions going to threaten. Uh-oh. The Queen's all to the right. The left, sorry. The Hellions are going to come over to the right. Evo chamber blocking. Oh, look at the Hellions, surely. Double Evo chamber block. Cool. Good defense from Lambo. That's very scary. No, Clem just flies into the Spore Crawl. Somehow doesn't lose the low HP Banshee. Oh, the Hellions, though. The Hellions are back. Chasing, Ling's catching, stopping, Evo Chamber blocking. Oh, what a defense from Lambo. Very, very smooth defense in the end. When that looked so scary. That's an Evo Chamber finish to block the natural off. That's a shame. Obviously, that's not ideal. And apparently, we only have one Banshee left here. Like I say, it's a little messy. It's a little scrappy. Clem's not typically one to lose those Banshees, but it's definitely getting a little messy as that Evo Chamber will get killed off. 5 drones going down, but again, it costs Clem a lot of his early units. It was very well handled by Lambo. It's amazing how much the Zergs have been able to start navigating around these problematic scenarios with those Evo Chamber wall blocks and so. It's really sick, because, like, I feel like, I would say a year ago, maybe a bit longer, but it's not so far gone that you'd see, with the days where those Hellions heading to that right side base was a mineral line. Dead, you know? And nowadays, we are just so much better at just defending with that bare minimum, you know? Really, really slick right there. Lambo was very good at that throughout EWC as well in his ZVT matches. That was one of the things I really took note of when I was casting on that first day. I was like, wow, he's really doing so good at just sort of, defending that kind of stuff. We're just getting blasted here. Rav just taking hits. Medivacs load up, pulling away. And it's going to go after the Overlord as well. Overlord goes down, a couple more barrels. Medivacs escaping away. Medivac's gonna go through. Queen is there. Medivac's turned. Clem's already moving his 4th into position. 3rd base just mining. And already getting that 4th across. Lambo is obviously moving into his 5th base. Like I said, it's a big map. I feel like Lambo has survived well enough to have a good shot at playing a later game on this big map. I'm just going to look for some creep tumors here. It's going to be that constant duel of just, can I deny creep? Are you going to get it replaced? That back and forth is going to be a consistent, and it's going to be, like I say, on a big map especially, very important for both to do well in that fight, because obviously Lambo wants as much map control as possible. Clem wants to try and deny as much map control as possible. Big drop in here from Clem, actually. He's just going to left-click the hatchery. Oh, the bios! Oh, the double kill on the medevac! No, Clem, he saw it coming, but he just didn't move the medevacs in time. He must have probably been looking elsewhere. Kills 11 drones, another medevac going down. Clem's in trouble, no? Like, does Lambo not just attack here? Like, it's nice to kill the hatchery, but you just lost so much army. That was like triple medevacs of units. I mean, one empty medevac got away, and that was it on that left side attack for a hatchery. That's extremely expensive. Okay, Biles. Seeing the opportunity. At the very least, right, you're going to force the units to lift up and back away. And obviously, in this case, the medevacs were right there too. Clem just saw it too late. He must have been on the right side looking, because when he looked back, he did lift in, even though it was a seemingly obvious trap. Lambo Max, a few more Banelings coming in. 10 of them morphing. Ultra Cavern coming up. Adrenal Glands plus 2 carapace. And the melee upgrade building as well. The bio pushes all the way over to that left-hand side. Gonna knock the Ling down on the watchtower, and Clem gonna try and keep some momentum up here. He has rebuilt nicely in terms of supply. Well, Bane's in the front, tank gonna get sieged. Some Widowmines joined up as well. I'm just gonna bleed a few units into this initially, but here we go, big attack. We've got the Vipers as well. Our observer's having a wild game, because jumping across into the main base at that moment was not it. But we are gonna get back in time to see what else happens. There's still energy on a Viper, which is not exactly a great sign for Clem right now, who is going to be up against Ultras in the near future as well. Turns around, gets a couple more units here. The Bane's still running forward. The Widowmine's going to try and set up. Liberators trying to siege. And Marines will stim through again, trying to chase those down. A little bit of Ling Roach Ravager still coming across as well. Just going to be seeing the Roaches getting picked away at. Liberator sieges. A couple of drones get picked. Overseers, Roaches, and Ravagers all on the way through. More Biles, and that Liberator just dodges. Does Clem really have just a counterattack here that's not being stopped? The Banes are surely going to do something, right? Right. Baneling shows up, connects. I might just have to run away. He has a Widowmine that does not go off. The hatchery low HP off being consumed by the Vipers. Counterattack of Roaches will not do much. There's no way Clem doesn't kill this hatchery off. Parasitic Bomb Medivac splits away. Clem is suddenly in a fantastic position supply-wise. And this game is flipping as we go. Fire gets rid of a couple more Roaches. A few more shots coming through. Fire still pushing up. Overlord's in trouble. On the left side, we're going to come back down. Lings Bane's being chased. Two more Bane's going to roll on forward here. The Bio going to kite backward. Bane's still chasing forward. Couple more Lings taking damage as well. Clem is maxed out, and I just don't think Lambo has a way to deal with this. Man, this really felt like opportunity for Lambo, and then just went too far. Clem takes a good fight. Right now, does Clem have what he needs to hold on? That's a nice counterattack. That's sort of counterattack that could maybe turn the game around a little. Clem being on 5 bases definitely helps him, though, because it does mean that he's got plenty to help the situation out with. Poof, and the Ultraless Divers appears in the shot of that Widow Mine. Planning Clouds from the Vipers. Parasite Bomb just trying to do a bit of anything, really. The counterattack of Lambo's dying out, and honestly saw the reinforcements as he's running Lings into Bio. It's only +1 melee Lings, so they're not even doing that much. Don't get me wrong, these units are super low HP, and Clem does not have much of an escape plan. Just going to kite away from this Ultra. A couple of chomps and everything dies, maybe even just one chomp, but he doesn't get it. And Clem just pulls back to a safer spot with Widow Mines. No Medivac energy, so it doesn't actually have a way to heal these units up, although he will just try and drop onto these Infestors. I don't hate it. He actually only killed one. His units were so low, the Fungals were actually that effective at actually getting kills. More Lings getting chased. We are going to siege up this base. I mean, Clem's just coming in with more and more units. It does look like 3-0 is on the cards. Clem will get to the finals for the Raynor rematch.